growing up in the Puente household, I imagine there were timbales and drum sets around and sticks. Did it provide an opportunity for you as a child, Tito, to just, kind of pick up the sticks and start to play? How did all that kind of play out?
Well, growing up in New York City, and then we moved up to a place called Rockland County. My father, of course, being the Latin percussion icon, Tito Puente. Those of you who might not know, he was a Latin band ambassador of Latin music worldwide. He was the king of the timbales, king of Latin music. He had many monikers to his name, but it was incredible. He had an incredible life. Passed away about 22 years ago, but he had a 50-year career, 7-time Grammy Award winner, over 180 albums to his credit. And he was just a master percussion player. So growing up around someone like that, in general, of course, you're going to gravitate towards music, number one. And of course, when you're a kid, if your parents tell you not to touch something, what do you do as a kid? You go ahead and touch it. So in our garage, we had a lot of drums, cowbells, percussion, maracas, congas, timbales, bongos, all kinds of marimbas, vibraphone. I had so many instruments in our garage simply because of my father being a musician that I ended up honing towards it. And of course, you start playing them. And I'm so grateful that I got that opportunity to do that.
And Tito, was there a defining moment where you recognized and knew that you had musical talent yourself and that you wanted to move forward in this trajectory?
Yes, well, I always, in my room, I would play, the bed sheets, and I had squares on my bed sheets. And I would pretend they were these Simmons drum pads. And I guess growing up in the 80s, I'm an 80s kid, and I really enjoyed the music of that era and that time frame, coming out of the 70s and into the 80s, the whole rock and disco, and then house music and then pop music, and everything was so eclectic and so vibrant and different at the time. Music was very, very important to our upbringing. We didn't have social media or anything like this, even Zoom calls or anything that had to do with a phone at that point. So music was our outlet and how we transcended through our feelings. And you wanted to say hello to your friend, you would have to call the local radio station and say, "Hey, I'm making a dedication to my friend or girlfriend or boyfriend at the time." How you felt about them, and you dedicate a song to them. I didn't care for mambo music, but my father was heavily into Latin and jazz music, and I was into pop and rock music. So I integrated into that world first. And then, of course, traveling with Tito Puente, I felt that mambo and Latin flavors, the clave rhythm, and the desire to hone in on more on my Latin heritage, my roots, and of course, his music.